Welcome to Strange Travels. I'm Lauren, and that's Clint, and we're from Nashville. We love to travel, whether it's a day trip or to another country. We love seeking out new experiences, hiking with our dog Lily, and finding amazing food along the way. In today's episode, we take you on a food tour in Derby City to explore some historical restaurants and try some iconic food.
Get ready for burgers, candy, fried chicken, bourbon, the best chocolate chip cookie on the planet, ham, pizza, pie, and more while we explore the sights of Louisville.
Here we go. Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. We're here in Louisville for some awesome food and drinks, and there's some historical places that we're gonna visit, some historical food even.
Yes, lots to eat, probably lots of sweets, and probably lots of bourbon. We brought in a celebrity guest for this one.
We did. Come on, say hi. Before we get to the food, if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up below, and also don't forget to subscribe so you can see all of our adventures and also follow our food tours and all the upcoming things that we have planned this year.
Now let's go eat. For breakfast, we are at Heitzmans Bakery, which has been a bakery since 1891, over 133 years. Well known for their cakes, pastries. I mean, walking around the store, anything you could think of that you might want from a bakery, you will find it here. I just got one of their bagel breakfast sandwiches on a cheese bagel, sausage, egg, and cheese. The bagel is like the perfect size. It's not huge where I feel like I can't eat all that. I mean, I can eat all that, but I like it. It's toasted, it's crispy. That's an excellent breakfast sandwich. I don't know how they get that crispy bagel outside exterior and maintain that fluffy inside. Like, look how fluffy that is.
If you haven't caught on, Clint likes savory things for breakfast, and I like sweet things for breakfast. This is a honey bun, but it's not just a regular honey bun. It's got chocolate frosting on top, or glaze. Can't wait to try this. And it smells good. Oh, all right, here we go. I love chocolate, and so a chocolate honey bun, right up my alley. It is delicious.
Dizzy Whizz is a family-owned business since the late 1940s, famous for their Whizz burger, which is a double-decker burger with secret special sauce.
Dizzy Whizz is proud to say that they are the only curbside service in Louisville, Kentucky, which means someone actually comes to take your order and you don't order just through a speaker. All right, here we go. Man, that is a great burger. I have to say, the sauce does seem like it has a little pickle something in it, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's still really good, and I will still eat my half of this burger, but I definitely think the secret sauce has something pickle in it.
All right, here we go. I'm pretty excited for this. I like pickle. So does Lily. The secret sauce, I don't know what's in it, but I definitely think Lauren's right. Definitely some like relish maybe in that mix, but that's right up my alley.
Always in our shadow. Literally a block away from Dizzy Whizz is Ollie's Trolley. And in 1973, they opened a location here in Louisville, and they actually had over 100 locations within 3 years. But then, unfortunately, the concept never really caught on, and within the early 1980s, most of them were gone. But this one is still here, and they are known for their Ollie burger.
Ollie's Trolley is cash only, and when you're looking at the menu, they will call out the difference between a regular hamburger, cheeseburger, and an Ollie burger. The Ollie burger is actually cooked in their special seasoning and includes Ollie's sauce.
One thing to note about Ollie's Trolley is there's really not a lot of places to sit, so be prepared to eat in your car or maybe find a park nearby. But also there's usually a long line, especially at the peak lunch rush hour. We came about 1:30, so it wasn't too bad. But I have been staring at this burger for way too long, so here we go. Yeah, that is probably one of the most unique burgers I've ever eaten. I don't know if it's the spices, the thick burger, or what they do with an Ollie burger, but it's delicious.
Okay, here we go. First off, what I love is they actually use mozzarella cheese on the burger and how thick the patty is.
Originally, we were only gonna get a burger, but after researching this place, I was like, we have to get the French fries because look at this seasoning on this French fry. I mean, not only do they look like McDonald's fries, but then they have like the Ollie seasoning. Oh, all right. And they smell delicious. Oh yeah. These are a must get, 100%. Don't just get the burger. It's worth it to get the fries because, yeah, those are awesome. Our next stop was Morris's Deli, Liquor, and Catering, and they have been serving the Highlands community in Louisville since 1987.
Morris's is well known for their sandwiches.
Morris Deli, a staple in Louisville, Kentucky.
But we didn't come here for a sandwich. We came here for Benedictine. Benedictine is made with cucumber and cream cheese. It was originally and still is used to make cucumber sandwiches, but more recently it is used as a dip.
And it gets its name from Jenny Carter Benedict, and it's really popular to have around the Kentucky Derby.
Here we go. Yeah, well, you put enough cream cheese, mixed cream cheese with it, it's pretty good.
The most ironic part about all of this is that Clint doesn't like cucumbers, but he loves pickles. Never understood that. Whereas I don't like pickles. I don't mind cucumbers, but it's not my favorite. But I mean, it smells good. It looks good. Oh, yeah. Here we go. It's really refreshing, and I taste a lot of onion. So, onion, cream cheese, cucumber. It's really good. I definitely would love to taste this on a sandwich because I think it would be really, really good.
Next stop is at Mark's Feed Store, which has been serving some of the best barbecue in Louisville since 1988. We came here for one thing, and it's not really barbecue. We came here for some Kentucky Burgoo, which you typically find at social gatherings. It's kind of similar to like an Irish or Mulligan stew.
Never heard of it in my life, but it looks really good, and I'm really excited. Here we go. Wow. That's delicious, especially on this cold day. It is perfect.
This will be the first time I've ever had Burgoo, and you may be wondering what is actually in it. In ours, we have, looks like there's corn, peas, onions, maybe potato, all sorts of meat. The meat, it could be chicken, it could be pork, could be beef. It seems like you just use whatever meat you have, whatever veggies you have, you make your stew, throw some cornbread in the mix.
You take this home, throw it in a pot, add some broth, a potato. Baby, you got a stew going.
Here we go. First time eating Burgoo.
Is that like, but it's like
Yeah. Could have a couple of bowls of this.
Our next stop was at the Garage Bar for some legendary Kentucky ham, and the Garage Bar boasts having the best hams in town, so we ordered the ham and cheese board. The offerings on the board rotate, so if you come to the Garage Bar, you may have completely different selections of ham and cheese to try.
The ham and cheese board comes with Broadbent ham out of Cuttawa, Kentucky, and one we're very familiar with, Benton's ham out of Madisonville, Tennessee, something we get a lot of in Nashville. And then we also have Kenny's Kentucky Rose out of Austin, Kentucky cheese, and then we've also got Mimi's Smoked Blue Cheese out of here in Louisville.
It's all delicious, so you really can't go wrong with this board. I'm so glad we got this. For a nightcap, we walked over to Pen and Proof, which is a speakeasy in the Omni Hotel.
When you walk into the Omni, take a left and keep going all the way until you get to a framed picture on the wall. And the framed picture will actually split, and that's the entrance to Pen and Proof. When we got here, the entrance was already open.
If you've watched our videos before, you know we love a good cocktail bar or a good speakeasy. We think they're so much fun and just a really cool atmosphere, and this one does not disappoint. Our next stop is called High Five Doughnuts, and it's a women-owned donut shop, and they originally started as a tent. And they actually used to have a store in Butchertown, but they just moved to this location here in the Highlands. The donuts, oh my goodness, they look so good. And the best part is you can make your own donut. So, Clint and I both made our own, and I did the cinnamon glaze with cinnamon toast crunch as my topping. Here we go. Wow, that is a ton of cinnamon. And the donut, it's like crispy on the outside but fluffy on the inside. Yeah, it's good. And the best part is these donuts are massive. I mean, Clint and I could definitely split a donut, but I was not about to split my own donut.
I got the bourbon caramel glaze with applewood smoked bacon on top. These donuts are huge. I mean, it is, I'm afraid to tilt it, but I mean, the thing is like the size of my face, and I've got a big head. So here we go. Just gonna dig in. The sweet from the bourbon caramel, the salty from the bacon, that dough. It's a good donut.
Lily's just waiting for some bacon. very patiently. There we go.
Show you how good these donuts are. Look at how like bouncy and fluffy the dough is on these donuts. It's so good. I mean, it is just extra like fluffy on the inside.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
The dough is like very crispy on the out, a little messy, but man, are they good. After that donut, I think Lily's ready for a nap. Our next stop was for lunch at The Table, located on Portland Avenue in Louisville. And The Table is very unique. On their website, The Table describes themselves as a nonprofit social entrepreneurship that serves locally grown fresh food and operates under a pay-what-you-can model. We value a place where everyone is welcome, and we provide creative payment solutions for all. Because they use the freshest ingredients, their menu changes seasonally, but one thing that is always on their menu year-round is their smoked chicken sandwich, which comes with bacon jam, red onion, kale, buttermilk ranch, and a jalapeno cheddar bun. It smells amazing. Look at this, here we go. You first pick up that smoky flavor in the chicken, and then you get a little bit of sweetness with the bacon jam. This is awesome. Can't come to Kentucky and do any sort of food and drink tour without bourbon. So we came to the Frazier Kentucky History Museum, which is actually the official start of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, to try some bourbon.
We got tickets for the Ready, Set, Go bourbon tasting, which also includes admission to the museum.
And being from Kentucky, I might be biased, but I thought the museum is so well done. It's 3 floors covering a wide range of Kentucky history, all the way from bourbon to college basketball.
Highly recommend, even if you don't drink or you don't want to do the bourbon tasting, just come to the museum for sure, because it's totally worth it.
Now for the bourbon tasting, we got really lucky because it was basically a private tasting with just the 2 of us.
So they had 4 different tastings when we started, but only 3 bourbons, and it was Barker's Mill, Town Branch Rye, and Yellowstone.
Part of the tasting, they taught us the proper way to taste bourbon and or whiskey. But so first you sniff the bourbon
with your mouth open.
With your mouth open, yes. And I would encourage trying it both ways, because you can definitely tell the difference with your mouth open versus your mouth closed.
Yeah.
And then you sip it, just a little sip to get your tongue acclimated to what is to come. And the third step is called the Kentucky Chew, and that's where you take a little bit of a bigger sip of bourbon and then you swish it around like mouthwash.
Yeah, like you get it in your cheeks, your gums, your tongue. I mean, you get the full tingle sensation.
Yes, and depending on the bourbon and the proof,
it's not fun.
It can sting a little.
But it is totally worth it for that.
Because the 4th step is when you get to enjoy it. All that work with the sip, the sniff, the sip, and the chew gets your mouth ready for that 4th drink, where you finish off the tasting.
And it's so smooth.
And you only can taste the flavors of the bourbon. It's the perfect way to do a tasting.
Yes. If you don't come to the museum to do the tasting, don't worry, because there is plenty of distilleries all around Louisville, in downtown Louisville, outside of Louisville.
Yes.
So you've got plenty of options.
You will not have to search hard to find bourbon to taste here in Louisville. second lunch, we came to Bristol Bar and Grill, which has been serving the Louisville community since 1977.
We came here for the steak sandwich, but they also have green chili wontons on their menu, and it's just a really popular thing to get, so we got them, and I'm starting to get hungry now. All right, here we go. They have like a guacamole sauce to go with it. Excellent.
So the reason we ordered the steak sandwich here at the Bristol Bar and Grill is because it's one of the few places that we could find Henry Bain sauce on a menu outside of the private Pendennis Club. The Pendennis Club is a private club here in Louisville, and Henry Bain was at one point the maitre d' at the Pendennis Club, and he invented the Henry Bain sauce to go with steaks or game that people would bring in after a hunt. It is said to be full of rich and tangy flavors of tomato sauce and vinegar combined with sweet chutney and pickled walnuts. All right, here we go. Henry Bain sauce. I would almost describe it comparable to like A1 sauce or Heinz 57. Maybe closer to A1 sauce, but not quite as tangy or spicy as A1. Maybe on the little bit of the sweeter, more milder side. So it's really good.
We stopped at Please and Thank You, which was voted Best Cookie Shop in America in 2023 by USA Today. And this cookie, y'all, it looks so good. I can't wait to try it. They have a bunch of different options. They had oatmeal cookie sandwiches. I think they had like a peanut butter cookie sandwich. Oh my gosh, all of it looks so good. But we had to get their chocolate chip cookie, because that's what they're known for. So here we go. Oh my gosh. Wow. Normally, I like my chocolate chip cookies warm. And first of all, it's super soft. And the chocolate, I don't know, there's something different about the chocolate, and it is excellent. It makes this cookie, I can see why it won, why they won Best Cookie Shop. I kind of want to tell Clint that we should go back and get cookie sandwiches, because I want to try them all now. We came to Vine's Wine Bar because it's pretty gross outside. It's been raining most of the day, it's cold, and we came to get a glass of wine in this cozy little spot. But also, you can buy a whole bottle of wine if you want, and they just charge a $15 corkage fee. But that's not the only reason we came here, because the best reason is they allow dogs inside.
Really?
Yeah.
It's hard to find places that you can actually take your dog inside and hang out. And usually maybe there's a coffee shop, or there's like a dedicated dog bar to have a place to sip wine that's just nice. And Lauren used the perfect word, cozy, on this rainy day, and get to hang out with Lily. Pretty cool place. We felt like a food tour here in Louisville, Kentucky would be incomplete without some Kentucky fried chicken.
So we decided to come to Chicken King of Louisville.
At night, Chicken King is drive-through only.
And pack your patience because it can take a while, but we really feel like it's totally gonna be worth it.
We believe it's gonna be worth the wait. I don't know about Lily,
She's struggling back here.
but she smells that chicken. So, since it's a drive-through, we brought the chicken back to our hotel room to eat it, and we did a little experiment in the drive-through once we pulled up to see how long it took to get our food. And there were 8 cars in front of us when we got there. Total, we waited just under 45 minutes from the time we got our spot in line to the time we were grabbing our food from the window. So now it's time to find out if it was worth it. I got a fried chicken dinner. You can choose either to have it regular or spicy, and I'm gonna try spicy. Here we go. I don't know where to start. The breading is so crispy, so crunchy, so flaky. The chicken inside is hot and moist and juicy. So much flavor. It is spicy. It is delicious. I would wait 45 minutes for this again.
And I also got the 3-piece dinner, but I just got it regular because I'm a wimp. But I mean, Clint has set the expectations, so here we go. It's so juicy, and like, even though it's fried, like it I don't know how to explain it, but it just melts in your mouth, honestly. It definitely is worth the wait, for sure. I would wait 45 minutes again for this, for sure.
For breakfast, we came to Wagner's world-famous diner at Wagner's Pharmacy.
Wagner's has been here since 1922.
They have been serving jockeys, trainers, fans of Churchill Downs and the Kentucky Derby for over 100 years.
Wagner's started as a pharmacy and soda shop before it became a diner.
Yes, it's a popular spot for jockeys and trainers to come grab breakfast or lunch after their morning training sessions.
So you never know who you might see here. As a lover of cinnamon rolls, I had to get this cinnamon roll because it looked really good online and it looks even better in person. Here we go. That is an excellent cinnamon roll. It is so cinnamony, if that's even a word.
Now you see this word right here? This is the word yes.
But it is excellent. Highly recommend getting it if you come here.
I don't know if you can see all the cinnamon. I mean, this thing is covered in cinnamon and loaded with the glaze.
I ended up getting the biscuits and gravy. We've heard it's super popular here, and it looks absolutely delicious. Here we go. The biscuit is so soft. And the gravy, all of it. It's delicious. I would definitely get this again.
I got the breakfast biscuit with some more ham and egg and cheese. And you can see the cheese hidden under all this ham. How good this looks. They said the biscuits were made fresh this morning, so it's a good sign. Pretty excited about this. I don't know where to start, so I'm just gonna, here we go. The biscuit, so fluffy, a little bit of crunch on the outer side. The ham's what makes it. The ham's delicious. I could have just ate the ham. Another thing Wagner's is really popular for breakfast is to get tomatoes as your side, and look at how thick these tomatoes are. They're huge, thick, juicy. That is a really good, fresh tomato. If you're visiting Churchill Downs or in town for the Derby or just visiting Louisville, highly recommend making a stop at Wagner's to see all the history inside, all the Kentucky Derby memorabilia. And it's so cool to eat breakfast or lunch in the shadow of the Twin Spires.
After Churchill Downs, we came to Bonnie and Clyde's for lunch. They've been open for over 50 years and they're also cash only. And so we were like, okay, cash only. They've been open 50 years. This place has gotta be awesome.
Yes.
And it did not disappoint.
Yes, and to be open 50 years, you have to be doing something right, and that pizza was right.
Yes.
It was so good. And it's like traveling back in time when you go in there. It's like pizza shops that you think of
when we were growing up.
Yeah.
I feel like it took me back to my childhood. I got the pepperoni and sausage pizza, and they have 4 different sizes, and they have a mini, which this is perfect, especially for me. So this looks awesome.
I got a mini and I got the Bonnie and Clyde special. Comes with pepperoni, Italian sausage, ground beef, Canadian bacon, mushrooms, black olives, green peppers, and chopped onions. And little pepperoncinis on the side. They make these pizzas fresh to order and they do not skimp on the toppings. That's a delicious pizza. Somehow they get the crust to be so crispy. It's like a thin crust style pizza. It's awesome.
It is a little bit further out from downtown Louisville, so but it's totally worth the drive, 100%. For dessert, we came to Louisville Cream, and it's a small batch gourmet ice cream shop, and they have a bunch of different fun flavors. We ended up getting cinnamon roll on top, and then creme brulee, and then a pretzel cone. Never seen or heard of a pretzel cone, so I'm pretty excited. All right, I'm gonna try it first.
Go for it.
The cinnamon roll is delicious. Oh yeah, I can't wait to try this pretzel bun though with the ice cream.
Pretzel cone.
I mean, I'm so used to pretzel bun, pretzel cone, but yeah, it's really good. We've made it to the pretzel cone. Here we go. That's unlike anything I've ever had. But it's good. The salt with the ice cream, you made a good choice.
So I can only stand Lily's puppy dog eyes for so long. Lily. Next, we've come to Waterfront Park to try a couple different sweet treats from here in Louisville. Starting with a visit to Eatables, where they are well known for their bourbon truffles, similar to a bourbon ball. And as you can tell, we actually went there to try one of their shamires. And we chose the cinnamon shamir, which is creamy white chocolate with an intensely warm cinnamon spice. These are delightful with teas, rum, hot chocolates, and cider. We don't have any of that, so we're just gonna try it straight up. And they have tons of different flavors to choose from: coconut, orange, you name it. Here we go. Oh my goodness. That tastes like, you know the little hard cinnamon sugar candies? That's what it tastes like, but it's extra sweet with the white chocolate. Wow. Can't wait for you to try it.
I can smell the cinnamon from this box. Oh, it smells so good. All right, here we go. You get the cinnamon at first, and then the white chocolate really kind of like takes away some of the spice, so it's not that like, oh my gosh, this is all cinnamon. It's a great mix of both, and wow, it's really good.
Our next stop was at Muth's Candies, which has been making delicious candy here in Louisville for over 100 years. They opened their first storefront on February 1st, 1921. By far, their most popular candy is the Majeska, which is named after a Polish actress.
I've never had a Majeska. It's a caramel marshmallow candy, and it looks really good. I don't even know what to expect. I'm really excited to try this. It's basically like a soft caramel. I mean, you taste the marshmallow, but wow, that is really good.
Pretty excited to try it. It's so good, and the caramel's not really hard to chew. It's really soft, and I mean, you can see how just with the marshmallow in the middle, how soft it is and fluffy. You can tell why that's the most popular candy they make, because it's delicious.
What's interesting is when you check out, they actually have a sign that says, you know, these are best eaten within 2 weeks because of the high butter content. So I agree. I was actually thinking it was going to be a lot sweeter, but it's the perfect amount of caramel, marshmallow. Like, it's definitely not overly sweet whatsoever. It's really good.
And then last but not least, bourbon balls. They weren't really invented here in Louisville, but why not? So if you don't know what a bourbon ball is, it's a lot of basically chopped pecans, sugar, bourbon, coated in chocolate, probably some other stuff depending on your recipe, topped with a pecan. Here we go. Immediately when you take a bite, you get hit with the bourbon, and it slaps you in the face. And then you get all that sugar and chocolate, and the pecan kind of mellows it out. Very, very sweet, but a delicious Kentucky snack for sure. Next stop is the Seelbach Hotel, which opened here in Louisville in 1905.
We came to the old Seelbach Bar inside the hotel to try its namesake cocktail. The cocktail consists of bourbon, orange liqueur, bitters, and sparkling wine. So I'm very interested to try this. It sounds like a bourbon mimosa. Cheers. That is very bourbony, but it's good.
Okay, so I'm gonna try this bourbon mimosa, the Seelbach cocktail. I feel like it tastes like a sparkling old-fashioned.
Funny you should mention that.
And I got Louisville's official cocktail, the old-fashioned, which is just bourbon, sugar, bitters, orange zest, and a cherry. I'm sure this one's going to be excellent. And it is. One cool thing about the Seelbach Hotel is it has hosted many celebrities over the years, including F. Scott Fitzgerald, and inspired a hotel he included in The Great Gatsby. Also a popular, I don't know if celebrity is the right word, but Al Capone frequent the Seelbach Hotel and used to come here to play poker a lot. And story goes that during a poker game, the cops came and raided the hotel to get Capone, and he was snuck out of tunnels to escape. Dinner, we came to the Brown Hotel, which opened in 1923. So it's been here for over 100 years. And in 1926, they introduced the world to the hot brown sandwich, appropriately named because it is brown and it comes out piping hot. It takes 20 minutes to make it, and it is an open-faced turkey sandwich with a delicate Mornay sauce, which, trust me, is impossible to make on your own. I tried to make it for Lauren when we were dating. It did not go well. But
I kind of wish we had a picture of that.
No, we don't. And like any excellent sandwich, it comes with bacon.
Oh, yes.
And you may be wondering, what in the world is Mornay sauce? It's very similar to like an Alfredo sauce, but instead of heavy cream, you use cheese in the roux, and it's again impossible to make.
But that makes a lot of sense because the whole Alfredo sauce, I can see where the similarities are.
Yeah, and it still is a very heavy dish. Like we need a nap at this point, but
or just go to sleep.
But it is. It's so good.
Yeah, so if you have the chance, there are a lot of places that serve hot browns in Kentucky, in Louisville, but there's only one that I think is like the must, if you're going to get one, you got to come to the Brown Hotel.
And this hotel is beautiful.
Yes.
All the, I guess appropriately, all of the brown wood here.
And the brick on the outside.
Beautiful hotel.
It's just beautiful to walk around. So even if you don't come for dinner, like we still recommend like just coming and walking around because it's just old and beautiful.
Before dinner, we each decided to get a drink. You got a Kentucky Mule.
Yes.
And against my better judgment based on previous experience, I decided to get a mint julep. I've had it before, did not enjoy it. Got it again, and I gotta say, the first sip, but I'm here to tell you, I don't know if it was just the bartender spent a little more time and care into preparing this mint julep, but it did grow on me. So if you get past that first sip and you're like, this is not for me, give it a few more sips.
Yeah.
And it became more refreshing, and maybe it got watered down, but the mint julep, while my first experience I did not care for it, this one I actually enjoyed after the first few sips. So if you try a mint julep here in Louisville, here in Kentucky, give it a couple sips.
For dessert, we got the famous Derby pie with ice cream, of course. And I told Clint that I'm not a huge fan of desserts with nuts in them. I am definitely, like, when it comes to brownies, I'm like, no nuts, you know. But I will say that in the Derby pie, it's very chopped up. So honestly, like, and they warmed it up. And I think, as Clint mentioned, like, to me off camera, like, he was like, when they warm it up, that's the best way to do it. And I totally agree that warm up the Derby pie and don't let nuts stray you away. If you're not the biggest fan, just don't let it stray you, because it's like the top layer is like a walnut sugary crust with chocolate pie with a pie crust underneath. Yeah.
And when you warm it up and you add some whipped cream or vanilla ice cream.
I mean, regardless, like, even if you're not a big fan of nuts in your dessert, I still highly recommend giving it a try, because I think it will surprise you.
Yes, I agree with Lauren. You put nuts in a brownie and you just waste it. You wasted some good brownies.
So unfortunately, this is gonna do it for our time in Louisville. But man, we have had such a good time. I have had such a good time. This has really been my first real experience in Louisville, and we hope that this video helps you, whether it's planning or where to go or what to eat. But regardless, it's been a wonderful time, and the good thing is we're only 3 hours away, so if we miss some spots, which I am sure we did, but we can just come back.
Yes, look forward to doing volume 2 here in Louisville.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe below, and now you can also check out our brand new website where we will be sharing our travel guides and more. Make sure you also follow us on Instagram so you'll know when we post new travel guides.
I think we're going to Kentucky.
Fried chicken. I love fried chicken.